Today, we're going over a 2005 crime thriller called Revolver. Spoiler alert. Let's dive in. After spending 7 years in prison, a cocky gambler named Jake Green is finally released. 2 years later, he visits a major casino with his brother Billy, hoping to get back money that crime boss Dorothy Macha owes him. Jake ignores advice from Macha's bodyguard Paul and joins Macha's private game. On the way, Jake hesitates to take the elevator because he's claustrophobic, but since they'd have to climb 20 floors otherwise, he goes in, trying to hold back a panic attack. At the poker table, Jake loses his first bet on purpose. It's part of a plan to trick Macha into underestimating him. When they bet again, Jake wins and walks away with a ton of cash. As Jake and Billy try to leave, a stranger named Zach warns them they're in danger and gives Jake his card. Jake tries to take the stairs this time but suddenly collapses. On the card, take the elevator. He's rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, Macha suspects Jake is out for revenge and hires the best hitman he can find, Soder, to kill him. At the hospital, doctors can't explain Jake's blackout. He goes home to wait for blood test results, but when he gets there, his bodyguards are immediately shot. Jake only survives because he bends down to pick up another mysterious card on the floor. As he tries to escape in a car, the driver is also shot. But Zach shows up just in time and saves him. Soder, confused by his miss, claims he just had a bad feeling and thinks someone tipped Jake off. Zach introduces Jake to his partner, Avi, who shows Jake his test results. He has a rare blood disease and only 3 days to live. The men offer him protection, but only under 2 conditions. Jake must give them all his money and do everything they ask, no exceptions. Jake thinks they're trying to scam him, but after checking with multiple doctors, even while pointing a gun at one of them, he gets the same diagnosis. With no options left, he accepts their offer. Avi tells Jake they're loan sharks and they'll be lending Jake's own money to others. Jake begins accompanying them as they collect from clients. He also tells Avi about his history with Macha. Years ago, Macha's goons, the 3 Eddies, lost their card man before a big game. They forced Jake to fill in by threatening Billy's family. During the game, players insulted Jake and his mother, so he snapped and started a gunfight. The lights went out, the money disappeared, and Jake got blamed. The Eddies threatened his niece, and his sister-in-law died trying to protect her. Jake kept quiet about Macha's involvement and went to jail. While he was in prison, Macha punished the Eddies for upsetting him. Later, Jake learns Avi and Zach had somehow accessed his medical records. While Jake works with them, he refuses to harm anyone, even when asked to threaten debtors. He's not the violent man he once was. One night, Avi and Zach use a truck to pull down a wall and steal a safe full of powder Macha was planning to sell. When Macha realizes he's been robbed, he goes to a rival, Lord John, for more powder, at a steep price. Jake and the team later gas both Macha's and John's men during the exchange, steal everything, and frame both sides, making it look like they robbed each other. Billy warns Jake that Zach and Avi are so feared that even the legendary crime boss Sam Gold avoids them. Jake ignores the warning. Later, Jake is supposed to shoot a debtor but refuses, and even turns the gun on Avi. But the gun's empty, and Avi knocks him out. Jake wakes up to find that his 3rd day has passed, and he's still alive. A doctor confirms the earlier diagnosis was wrong. He's perfectly healthy. When Jake tries to confront Avi, he's told to wait. Meanwhile, Macha finds out Jake is connected to all his recent problems. He orders his men to kill Jake. Back at the motel, Jake is warned by Avi and Zach that Macha's men are waiting in his room. Jake escapes and manages to lose the thugs. One even dies accidentally, making Jake look even more dangerous. At their office, Zach and Avi reveal the truth. Jake had been hiding details about his past. After prison, the Eddies tried to kill him, blaming him for their fallout with Macha. Jake made a deal. He'd give them 3% of any money he made using a formula he learned in prison. But he was really just paying each Eddie with another Eddie's money. When they ran out of cash, they borrowed from Matcha, who became curious about this mysterious money man, Jake. Jake had taken a break from gambling when Matcha killed the Eddies for failing to repay him. Back to Matcha. He's at a restaurant when his hitman Soder sees a disguised woman. He shoots her only to get shot himself moments later. The woman was connected to Lord John, and now things are spiraling. Soder is later sent to kill Lord John and his men. Meanwhile, Jake keeps working with Zach and Avi. During a rooftop golf session, they tell Jake something shocking. Sam Gold isn't real. He's just a symbol of ego, greed, and fear. His power comes only from those who believe in him. To win, Jake must stop letting his ego control him. Jake donates all his money to charity and sneaks into Matcha's bedroom. There, he apologizes for tricking him and even calls him the superior crime lord. Jake tells him he donated money in his name and leaves, no longer afraid. To face his fear of elevators, Jake gets inside one that breaks down midway. Alone, he has a deep conversation with his ego and finally breaks free from it. Matcha is waiting downstairs, gun in hand, but Jake walks past him with total peace. Matcha, completely shaken, can't understand why Jake isn't afraid. He breaks down in tears, humiliated and defeated. The next day, Paul shows Matcha that Jake really did donate money in his name, and now people think he's a generous man. Matcha enjoys the attention for a moment, until Paul reveals Jake also stole the powder. Matcha's henchmen go after Billy and his family. When they find them, Billy hides his daughter, but they force her out. Soder, unwilling to hurt a child, turns on his own team and takes them out, before getting killed himself. In the end, Lily, Gold's advisor, visits Matcha. She brings a wreath and tells him that Gold is done with him. No second chances. At Matcha's casino, Avi finally beats Jake in a chess game and reveals the final twist. He and Zach were the men in the prison cells beside Jake's. They tried to take him with them when they escaped, but he wasn't ready. They may have just been parts of Jake's imagination, symbols of his inner wisdom and conscience. Before Jake can fully process this, Matcha's men bring him to the casino office, where Matcha holds Jake's niece at gunpoint. But even now, Jake shows no fear. This infuriates Matcha, whose ego can't handle being powerless. In the end, Matcha breaks down and takes his own life. Think you figured out the real meaning behind Revolver? Let us know in the comments. And while you're at it, hit that like button and subscribe for more gripping crime thrillers.